Do you ever wonder about how you might get your students to be a little more involved in the language you are trying to teach them? Here are 5 ideas for stimulating your students at the start of your language lesson. 1. Finish the story. The idea is that you start a story by giving the students an opening sentence, and then it's up to them to continue the story with 1 sentence per student. You or a student could, for example, start with something like, "Once upon a time in a faraway land, there was a princess who dreamed of being kidnapped by aliens." It's up to your students to continue and finish the story 1 sentence at a time. A tip for weaker students is to tell them that they can say something random about the weather or surroundings, like, "And then it started to rain," or "The flowers in the grass were white, blue and pink." 2. Riddles. Start your lesson with a riddle. I make a few PowerPoint slides for almost every lesson, and I start my week with 2 riddles on the screen. It helps to stimulate the students even before I've started my lesson, because they can see the riddles as soon as they walk into my classroom, and all you really need to do is type the word riddles into Google and there will be an abundant number of riddles to choose from. 3. Coffeepots. This one is a bit more tricky. It involves counting and multiplication. Every student has to say a number, starting at 1, and then seeing how far the group gets, but students cannot say numbers that have a 7 in them or that can be divided by 7. For example, the first student says 1, the second says 2, and then once you get to student number 7, they have to say the word coffeepot, rather than 7. I would advise you to write out the numbers on a sheet of paper for yourself, indicating which numbers have a 7 or can be divided by 7, because this game needs to be played with a little speed, and the higher the number, the more difficult it is to say whether it is divisible by 7. As soon as a student makes a mistake, they can no longer participate, and that should leave you with 1 winner in the end. 4. Guess the vocab. Here's an easy way to start your language lesson. Use some of the vocabulary that your students have to study for that week or month. Ask one student to come to the front of the classroom. Give them a slip of paper on which you have written a word. It's up to them to draw out the word. The rest of the class will have to guess the word on the slip of paper. 5. YouTube clip. Find a YouTube clip about something that you think will interest your students. For example, a 5-minute clip about the first baby goat born with 5 legs, or presidential elections in America, and then create some simple questions about the video. You might even end up having an interesting discussion about the topic afterwards. I hope this video was in some way helpful for you. For more videos like this one, head over to my channel, Illustrated and Explained.